What's good, YouTube? This episode of Ask Kev is about two different topics: dating guys that keep it real and verbal abuse. So jumping right into it, my first question was, Kev, if you meet a guy that's honest about dating someone else, how should you proceed? Is this just his way of telling me that he's interested but he still wants to play the field? He treats me very nicely. We haven't done anything yet besides kissed. They met about 3 weeks ago, so things are still pretty new. I thought this was a great question, as a lot of girls who write me are dating guys that keep it real in the same way. I don't know this guy. I don't know his character or his nature. I also don't know the context of that information that he gave you. He could be a great guy or not. I can only give you a male's perspective about what you should keep in mind about the general reality of these situations. I learned very early in my dating life that women respond very well to honesty. In fact, most women would prefer a treacherous truth over a loving lie. Men with options aren't stupid. They have learned in their dealings with women to tell half-truths and true lies. You asked me how to proceed. My answer to you would be with caution and without sex. You asked me if this was just his way of saying he's interested, but he still wants to play the field. My answer to you, how do you know that you're not the field? Because there's a very high likelihood that that's exactly what he's doing. Law number 12 in my favorite book, The 48 Laws of Power, is to use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your target or victim. This is a tactic used by many. Men tell women stuff like this for a few reasons. Number one being to seem more sought after and create a sense of urgency in a woman to impress him. Another reason they do it is to add a little bit of mystery and upset the balance of power in a relationship, causing the woman to chase him. And even so, the third and I believe the most common reason why men tell women things like this is to dull a woman's expectations of commitment in the relationship. It's kind of funny when you think about it. The honesty seems so noble until you realize that it's just a tactic to manipulate you, either into doing more of what he wants you to do or allowing him to do more of what he wants to do. It doesn't make him a bad person though. He's also letting you make an educated decision on whether or not you'll let him use you for sex. Choose wisely. Rarely does this happen because a guy is just compelled to be honest. In fact, all of the players I know start out with this type of so-called honesty. They mention they may talk to other women or absolutely talk to other women, but they minimize the scope of those relationships. This creates trust in his character that is largely undeserved. Think about it. He really didn't tell you anything that you didn't already know. I mean, it's safe to assume that a person who is dating is also dating around. But now because he told you that secret, now because he confessed to you that he's dating around, you'll trust him for no reason at all. Many times a guy in a relationship will start out with this type of honesty to make sure that you know not to cross a line of expectation or get possessive with him. I mean, he can't afford to have you showing up at his house cursing out his real girlfriend. Some men don't want you to expect anything more from them than some pipe. And a lot of women out here are in side bitch training and don't even realize it. So in your case, whatever his reasoning is, hold off on the sex. If you like him and you want a relationship, give him time to like you, your personality and your spirit. When a good man starts to have feelings for a woman, his dating around stops anyway. And if nothing comes from this, then you'll know that you were the field he was playing in. In that case, you'll be relieved to know that you didn't give your all to a guy who had no intentions on loving you. But if all you want is some fun, then have a ball in your new non-committal relationship. But just be mindful. Until he agrees to stop dating other women and you become exclusive, don't give him more than you can stand to lose physically or emotionally. With that said, the next question I got was simply, Kev, can you talk about verbal abuse? So here are my random thoughts on verbal abuse. The easiest way to get control over someone is to use your influence over them to misdefine their value. Convince them that they deserve much less than what you're giving them, even if what you're giving them is next to nothing. People do this all the time, especially men, though I've seen women do it as well. So here's a bit of background about this question. A subscriber told me that her ex would say things about her hair, her body, and even her voice to bring her down. He would then follow his criticism with "just kidding" or something of that nature, as if that would wipe away the hurt or insecurities it caused. In that case, he was probably just afraid that she would feel sexy and beautiful enough to cheat on him with a man more deserving. So he aimed to steal away her confidence and make her feel lucky to have his shitty ass. This kind of abuse can seem mild, but be very impactful. Abuse of this kind or any kind always boils down to the need to control. This comes as a means of the abuser coping with their own insecurities. Controlling spouses or abusers often follow their attack with an apology or a joke. This is meant to manipulate your reaction and rehumanize themselves in your mind. These people understand that if they deliver the abuse without dulling the sting in some way afterwards, they could lose value to you and with it, their influence. Now, obviously, there are much worse examples of verbal abuse and psychological abuse, and it takes many forms, but I'm speaking about the idea of verbal abuse here, not the specifics. People often forgive the damaging words of their spouse after the anger passes, but many never hold them accountable for the more important detail of intent. Actions are a culmination of intent. The intent of an abuser is ever present. Someone who's trying to manipulate your self-esteem to control you is always trying to control you. Someone who's trying to break you mentally never really wants you to grow strong enough to disbelieve the stuff that they try to make you think about yourself. They don't want you to be strong enough to leave them. And even if you can forgive the abuse, it's foolish of you to forgive the malicious intent because it doesn't go away. I told you guys a while ago, people don't really change. Their practices change, their habits change, but their nature is inherent to who they are. So in large part, that stays the same. If you find yourself constantly having to forgive someone's nature, then your relationship is probably doomed, because an abuser will always find a new way or avenue to control you. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me on Instagram at KevHick24. Share my videos if you think they're helpful. I'll get with y'all later.